What's up, everybody? So Damien Echols posted this up on X the other day. It's an update on his case, the case of the West Memphis Three. I'll link everything in the description below so you can go have a view for yourself, as well as give Damien a follow on X. His information is linked in the description as well. Hairs, ligatures, and possible other evidence collected after three 8-year-old boys were murdered on May 5, 1993 in West Memphis has been sent to Bode Laboratories for advanced DNA testing. One of the three men prosecuted for the crime, Damien Echols, has petitioned the state for almost 6 years to do the testing. Echols' defense team member Lonnie SOU RY confirmed to Talk Business and Politics that items have been sent to the lab, but no timetable for the testing has been released. The evidence is expected to be MVAC DNA or touch DNA tested. MVAC is a test that can retrieve DNA more precisely than traditional DNA swabbing. The victims in this case, Michael Moore, Christopher Byers, and Stevie Branch, were hog-tied ankle to wrist with their own shoelaces. And the hope is that the boys' killer or killers left skin cells in the ligatures they were tied. The testing comes after the state has fought vigorously in court for years to prevent the testing. That's very, very showing, or very, very telling. Like, the boys took an Alford plea to get out of prison back in 2011, I believe it was. And they've been fighting for their innocence since day one. And the fact that the state is fighting against having this testing done really shows you that there's some, if you don't believe, like, there's still a section of the people out there that still believe the three boys are, or men now, are guilty. But why would, if you believe that, why would the state be fighting so hard against getting the testing done? If they fully believe that they were correct in getting the convictions of those three, why wouldn't they just get the test done and be like, look, we were right this entire time? The reason that they're fighting so hard against it is because they know they were wrong, and this could possibly prove they were wrong. And of course, they don't want that. So they're going to do absolutely everything they can to keep whatever was they allegedly did a secret, or stop the world from knowing how badly they messed up. They put an innocent man on death row, Damien Echols, and they don't want that information coming out, or either that they are protecting someone and they don't want that information to come out either. Echols had stated on social media earlier this year it would be completed by the end of the year, but that timeline is uncertain. If it was just sent, it doesn't say when it was sent, but if it was just sent recently, with how slow everything goes, I doubt it'll be back by the end of the year, but that would be absolutely incredible. What a Christmas present it would be for the three boys who were falsely convicted of murder to be finally, in the eyes of everybody, I mean, most people know what happened, finally in the eyes of everybody, be like, look, we were right, we were innocent, the state screwed us, and here's the proof. Earlier this year, Damien Echols said he might seek to test evidence in the case that has already been tested, such as hairs that were DNA tested in 2007 or retested or reanalyzed using modern methods. An unknown allele was found on one of the victims, may also be a candidate for genetic genealogy testing. Moore, Byers, and Branch were riding their bikes in their West Memphis neighborhood on May 5, 1993 when they vanished. Their nude, hog-tied bodies were found in a drainage ditch in a wooded area not far from their homes the next day. Police and prosecutors developed an unproven theory that the boys were killed in a satanic or occult ceremony. There's a bunch of documentaries out on this case. There's some really, really good ones. If you're unfamiliar or haven't seen them, I definitely recommend you checking them out. If you don't know what they are, leave a comment below and I'll give you the names. There's 4 that I've watched that are excellent, just excellent. Eccles, along with two co-defendants, Jason Baldwin and Jesse Miskelly, were convicted in 1994 of killing the boys. Miskelly gave several error-riddled confessions that led to the arrests and subsequent incarcerations. He said the boys were tied with ropes when they were tied with their own shoelaces. He said the attack happened in the morning when the boys were in school. Miskelly, who suffers from low IQ and learning disabilities, told investigators that two of the boys were sexually assaulted. He was, I don't know if you've ever seen some of the interrogation video from that, just ridiculous. State medical examiners, Dr. Frank Perretti and Dr. William Struner, confirmed during the defendant's post-conviction relief hearings in 2009 that no semen was recovered from the victims or their clothing. Both testified that there were no anal bruising or tearing, and it would be a physical impossibility for the boys to be sexually assaulted in that manner without leaving physical evidence. Famed forensic pathologist Dr. Spitz, Dr. Baden, Dr. Souviron, and Dr. Ophoven testified that there were no evidence of a sexual assault, and there would be evidence if it occurred. There's no evidence because it didn't happen. Investigators honed in on one particular injury to Byers. His genitals were degloved, or in layman's terms, the skin removed. Those poor boys. Prosecutors argued that a large Rambo-style knife recovered from a lake behind Baldwin's house was used to inflict this injury. Perretti testified it would be nearly impossible for a skilled surgeon with a surgical scalpel to perform the type of procedure on a living person in those conditions. All four defense forensic pathologists testified that the injury was caused by an animal post-mortem. They all testified that there were no knife cut. The experts testified that there were no knife cuts or stab wounds to the victims, an oddity since prosecutors claimed a knife was involved. They also admitted that there were no stab wounds to the bodies. Miskelly recanted those confessions and refused to testify against his cohorts, even though he was offered a reduced sentence. They remained incarcerated until 2011 when they agreed to Alford pleas. The three men, known as the West Memphis Three, have maintained their innocence. No forensic evidence collected or tested in the case has ever been linked to the convicted. The request for new DNA testing comes after the Arkansas Supreme Court ruled last month that Damien Eccles had a right to request the testing after a lower court dismissed his request. Damien Eccles first asked for MVAC Touch DNA testing in March of 2020. I am very much looking forward to seeing the results of this test. Hopefully, it would be amazing if this test came back and they ran it through whatever their system is, Kodak, I could be wrong, I think it's called Kodak, I don't know, I can't remember, and it comes back to somebody already in the system, that dead or alive. It would be amazing if they were still alive, because then they could face punishment for what happened, but to have the West Memphis Three fully 100% exonerated, without a doubt, in anyone's mind, would be amazing. Hopefully it comes before the end of the year. I don't know when this stuff was sent off, so probably not likely, but it would be incredible. I cannot wait till these three boys are proven innocent, and hopefully the people responsible for everything they did to them are held responsible, because they took years away from these young men's lives just because they couldn't find anything else. They had something against them. They know who actually did it, and so they decided to frame them. Who knows? All of that's allegedly, of course, but something happened where these three boys faced a crazy miscarriage of justice. What do you think? Let me know. Leave some comments below. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon.